talking about one thing or another. For me to become victorious, to overthrow what I'm up against, I then need to understand all these entities. What? We're not fighting against evil spirits. Oh, not all of them are evil. But as we say, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, principalities, against the ruler of darkness, against spiritual wickedness in high places, right? And Paul talked about four principalities, different entities, different principalities. He's not talking about one thing. Meaning, for me to become victorious and to overflow what I'm up against, I then need to understand all these entities. Because we are not fighting against evil spirits. Not all of them are evil, but these are in ranks. The reason people talk about spiritual warfare and just ends up being a talk, it's because they don't understand spiritual things. We know that angels are in rank. Even demons are in rank. That's why when we read Ephesians 6 verses 11, Paul is talking about the ways, which is the methods, the strategy of the devil. Meaning that the devil is organized. Listen, I'm gonna tell you a couple of examples out of it. The devil always wanna keep you on an old cycle. The devil always wanna bind you or separate apart. That's the work of the devil. Kill, steal, and destroy. So, it's important to us to understand the enemy that I'm up against in order to overflow the enemy. Because I cannot overthrow the enemy that I don't understand. I cannot conquer and cannot defeat an enemy that I don't understand. I think it's time that we really go deeper, and I try my best to break it down. Whenever we're talking about unclean spirits, when we're talking about evil spirits, when we're talking about demon, when we're talking about devil, these are four different because of what we functionalities. Just like angels, we know what a cherubim is, and we know the functionality of a cherubim. We know what a seraphim, and we know the functionality of the seraphim. So even when it comes to what we are up against, these things are in ranks. Why it's so important for us to understand, to teach about this is another side of spiritual things. Because Paul tells us where we are fighting, in high places. Remember, the book of Ephesians chapter 1 verse 3, we have been blessed with all spiritual blessings in Christ Jesus in heavenly places. So what you and I have unborn to time, it is in high places. The demons we are fighting against, which is principalities, rulers of darkness, powers, and spiritual wickedness, are also in high places. So for me to fathom what is announced to me, because every blessing have my name on it, but I cannot get to that blessing until I overthrow these entities that Paul is talking about. Yes. Listen, when I'm talking about these principalities, there's those people that worship the moon. You know, that use magic, worship the moon. When we're talking about these principalities, we cannot say it is the same concept, but it is what's behind it. Remember, we have the realm of God. It's funny, those who use the moon for magic, but they don't know what it is, or for rituals, but they don't know how it functions. Like, they need magical stuff to manifest, and probably they use it for bad intention. But if you are a magical being, it doesn't work. If you are the moon, it doesn't work. I'm not talking about these kind of rituals and what are like here in the Middle East. They still using this stuff. Are Stone Age manifesting out of the moon at this age. Now we live at a time you gotta take accountability for what you do directly. There's no waiting for years. It's not like before. So when you're talking about a moon magic or a moon rituals, actually the moon is your soul, and your soul is based on your intentions. At this age, using that principality, you gotta be stupid. You gotta be stupid. Everything is tied to spirituality. Even magic, even, let's say, there's some people have protection on the 3D. Let's say illegal protection on the 3D. Nowadays, if you don't have it in the spirit, it won't manifest in the 3D. Even if you have it here, it's corrupted. Anything can shake it. You're on the edge. Before, stuff was different. Yes, because of the age that we're living in. Everything is spiritual. Especially nowadays, you can manifest your own justice spiritually. You can manifest anything you want to be fruitful spiritually. And you will watch it happening in the physical. So, when I'm talking about those lunatics that are using the moon at that age, I'm talking about stupid people, dumb people. Let me tell you from the end. But let us go to the realm of God. Let us go to the realm that is really fruitful in the spirit, that really lasts, that really you put the hard work, you put the intentions, you put the work, you put whatever you're doing as a light worker, you get the result, and there is no backlash on you and your surrounding, because we live in that age, and you put it positive with a loving and good intention to manifest positive. So you gotta go to the realm of God, which is, it's hard for those who worship the moon to believe that there is a God. But there is a God who created all this universe. And we're about to talk about the Most High. The realm of angels. The Most High have a realm of angels in another dimension. This realm, angels, everlasting. And then you have the realm of men. And between the realm of men and the realm of angels, there's a realm of all spirits. We call it high places. Some call it spiritual realm. Some call it celestial realm. And that's where the blessings are. See, when I'm talking about the realm of God, I'm talking about people who's doing hard work, who walk in God, righteousness and truth, and they get their inherited blessings without thieving, without corruption, without idolizing other deities, demons, because all this is temporary. I gave you, but you have to pay me. You have to pay me. How you pay me? You will pay with your health. You will pay with your family members. You will pay in a way or another. Especially if you are still at that time working with the devil energy, which is nowadays all the spiritual communities know that this thing at that age, it doesn't work anymore. It's so dangerous, So, until you overthrow, you want something guaranteed or not? You want something guaranteed that can't be touched and last long? Like, it's not the matter of material. It's the matter of spiritual inheritance. A good person, a good man and woman who leave a spiritual inheritance for the future generation, for the lineage. A good man and woman is, I'm not gonna say just good, an educated, awakened man will look on removing curses on the bloodline. Freeing, not binding, freeing. Because when you free the bloodline, you free the whole lineage. Whoever don't want to be free, he will be cut out of different cloth, in different frequency, in different energy. Those things I'm talking about. Not just I study it. I experienced it myself. And in the defeat of the principalities, if you need to pause and say what's principality. Because most of the people say I do a spiritual warfare, but they can't explain for you what is a principality. What is a principality? And to my surprise, this is who talks a lot, like they don't even know what's principality. So you cannot overthrow the principality or the entity if you don't understand it. Let's break it down of these entities. A principality is simply a prince without territory. Whenever we say prince or princess, we're talking about territories. And these are principalities. What they do is they come into a place of territory or into a family. And they come into a family and they look at the people, and the first thing they do, they scan. Who is gifted among this family? Who is prophetic among these family? And once they know who is prophetic and gifted, they scan again. Who is the weakest? Who is the most weak between them? Because who's the weak in that community? That's the Judah of the prophetic person. It's easily to get control of weak people. And they first attack the strongest, the one who's spiritually gifted. People who are prophetic in that place, and they attack them using lust. Because one thing that does not just cause you to sin against God, but to sin against yourself is fornication. That's why when it comes to sexual immorality, we know God's word says about that. So once you defeat these people in that territory, he takes over that territory. He's not there in that territory to run that territory. He comes, just he can dismantle, divide that territory, right? And take over that territory. It's a kind of a curse. Like if you see some areas, you'll see the people who's there are never educated. They never finish school. We see in other area, the people or this street, these people, all of them are crazy. Or you see that street, these people, all of them on drugs. Or you see that street or that community, they never live more than 40 years. Those are curses. Those are curses. Princes of overpowers that come in, and when powers come in, they come into influence to that community. Now, all of the sudden, people used to love God in that community. They don't love God. All the sudden, if people they have faith in God, they don't have faith in God. But that's their duty. This one principality are there to dismantle. Now, when powers have successfully influenced the people that in that community to draw away from the Most High, they open the door for rulers. When rulers come, they come to an establishment, government. They come to put some few laws into place. That's why it's dangerous for you to subscribe to a trend that you don't understand. So what they then do, they establish laws. These are rulers of darkness. Their laws can be in this community. Nobody goes to school and make it. They go to school to come back home. Another example, no one will have children after marriage. Or a lot of divorces. You know, it's not normal. It's not normal when you see a community full of divorces. It's not normal when you see a community full of failure. It's not normal when you see community full of addiction. All this is behind the scenes. There is a spiritual, dark thing behind it. There's darkness in that community. I'm not saying all the community is dark, but there's darkness in between the community. I want you to understand the spiritual side of it, how it actually happened, to break it down for you. So once now the community moves, they all dance the same dance. They all sing the same song. There's a pattern in this community. And once the rulers are successful in placing laws, these are the ones who comes with dance moves, because people, you need to understand that any form of dance is worship to a deity. And like any form of a dance is a worship to a deity. So that's why spiritualists and people understand spirituality. You see them hitting drums and dancing before doing something, because then they are thinking, or rather they know, they are invoking a spirit. So the same thing happened here. The whole community is dancing on the same rhythm, and here what the dance is, I'm not saying dance is diabolical, but because there's so much in friendship with the world, you'll find yourself doing it. So just a normal dance introduced to that community, whoever tunes and dance on that dance is invoking the same shit. So once rulers are successful in putting laws there, here and there, they open a door for spiritual wickedness. There's where now things become witchcraft, warlocks. It comes, this one wickedness, spiritual wickedness. This one is now bad. This is the spirit or the rank that attacks even, they attack churches. And with spiritual wickedness, they can go during the service, or rather before the service, maybe mark things in the church or anything like that. But their main target is intercessors, worshippers. That's why they will cause an intercessor to be sleeping with whatever and come to church on Sunday like nothing happened. They will cause a worshipper to be drinking the day before and come to church like nothing happened. Why? Why? Because their job is to make sure that there is wickedness in that community. There is wickedness in the house of God. And this is spiritual wickedness. And this is why in a community where spiritual wickedness has taken over, if somebody will buy just like a person buying a new car, a new model, that person next time want that car. So another person will come and say, nobody will buy that amount of car. I'm giving an example. Grocery. That's why you'll find some grocery store, they never sell anything. And you find some grocery store selling a lot. That's wickedness that has been conquered, or those who came before us. All I'm saying here, it is important for you to understand that before, see, spiritual wickedness, these people that go curse and stop people's money, and these people, they fall under the influence of the demon, and they think themselves they have some kind of power. I'm powerful. I went there and I ruined their business. I ruined their marriage. I ruined, but there's always an agenda behind it. And it's always lineages, earth angels, bloodlines with chosen people are targeted the most, even though they target everything that have the light of God or happiness or joy in his life. So miserable people that operate our flow vibration, they feel miserable, they feel filthy, they know themselves, so they want everybody to be under that filthiness, under that control, so they feel some kind of power. Don't know what they do, sacrifice for the demon, they sacrifice animals, they do stuff filthy, Also at that age, it is a joke, That's which belong to you, yet I'm born to time. And there's a warfare that one must go through. That's why you always need to go beyond your mother-in-law, let's say, and see who's talking using your mother-in-law. Stop hating her. It's not your mother-in-law. Address the spirit behind your mother-in-law. I'm giving an example. Address any person coming against you. It's not the person. Look at the spirit that behind the person. Address the spirit behind them. And sometimes you have to hate your ex girlfriend or your ex boyfriend, but look at the spirit behind them. You don't have to hate your professor. You need to be able to address the spirit that behind your professor. You don't need to hate the person. Address the spirit behind them. So whenever the Bible speaks about warfare, understand your enemy before you engage with them. And that because you cannot fathom your blessings until you engage. And when it comes to spiritual matters, God does not roll in, come and take what's yours. He would have just put it in a place. No. And where is the warfare is happening? No, God will not give it to you like this. God doesn't give anything to you like this. It's spiritual war. The war is up against you. Fight it. And the devil does not understand the language here, the language of diplomacy. He understands violence. Hence, from the time of John the Baptist, this is not like devil worshippers and their policies and principalities. You don't make diplomacy with these people at all. This is the time. This is that you don't just fight them. You fight them and you cut yourself from them, because you need to know that every time you pray for something and it's not happening, it's not that God didn't answer. It's not God that didn't handle at the time. It's because there is a principality and you have to fight this principality to take it over. And it needs time. Nothing happened. It needs time for the Most High to raise your spiritual, energetic field. You know, it needs time. God, the Most High's way is the longest and the hardest. Because you gotta go against all these principalities. We're not talking about envious people and jealousy that are being used by these principalities. You're gonna have to fight all through this to get to the big blessing, you know. So, what we're gonna say? We're gonna say that an enemy that you understand is an enemy defeated. An enemy exposed is an enemy buried. A demon that you slay, you give him his head and you send him to his mom. You don't know, you know. You know. So when you understand these stuff and how they work, and you know every demon by its name, by his princess, by his principality, yes, you need to not just study those things. You need to fight those things in your life. Or you have to surrender and obey. Or sit miserable and give it up. Or let those cohorts destroy you. Because listen, if you are a chosen vessel of God, you have the power. The victory is yours. And they know it. They know that you're a winner. They know it. You know? So, don't give it up. Spiritually educate yourself. The Most High and the authority that is above all principalities, which is in the Christ consciousness, is the most powerful thing. That if you can ask me how you was able to be the person that you are now, here I am. I just explained you. As much as I could, we can go more details. I know a lot of deep things. I know a lot of deep. The rabbit hole is so deep. I know a lot of deep things, but this is the base. This is the basics. I know esoteric. I know the occult. I know but I work in the light, and that's why our protection is impenetrable. We're here to spread the light, to help others survive with less suffering. Because darkness and evil does not have power. It only has power when you are ignorant. When you are a person, oh, I don't believe in this stuff. You are the easiest target. You are the easiest target. And don't you ever, learn this lesson. Don't you ever allow other people's influence to get in your ear about anything in life, about a direction, about a person, about anything in life. Just sit down and you call upon the Most High and you say, God, if I'm headed in the wrong way, redirect me or stop me. Say, God, before I do this to that person, or before I do that move, or before, show me in my dreams, shall I do it or not? Shall I believe that person or not? And go to sleep. See what you dream. This intuition, this is the Most High. Your soul have 3 wheels. Actually, 3 free will your soul has, and your spirit have 3 will. But most people are still functioning out of their soul. You know, when you function out your spirit, you don't. You ask your God, but you don't find it hard to this discernment. You know, you directly, when you function out the spirit, you directly know the bullshit. You directly know what the enemies are doing, what they're preparing, they are up to, what it is they're using. Like tonight, my enemies tonight have something. Yesterday they did, and tonight, you know, you see them from the third eye and you laugh. Yes, you laugh at them. When you elevate and when you learn, you laugh. Evil people are dumb. It doesn't pay to be bad, especially at that age. It doesn't pay at all. Listen to your spiritual guide. It doesn't pay to be a low vibrational piece of shit, an envious, jealous, hateful person. It doesn't pay you. It's not healthy. You know, I never thought a couple of people are like this, because I never been jealous or envious or a hateful person ever in my life. You know, I never thought that those people are like that. But after I went through what I went, I was like, oh shit, you know, without even knowing. You know what? They find something in you that you don't see it. They want what you have. I was like, motherfuckers, is it? Then you're gonna get it on my dead body.